Welcome to TSAT. You are watching a special program on International Day Against Drug Abuse and Drug Trafficking, which is observed on the June 26th. We have with us a very special guest, Mr. 𝗧𝗦𝗔 𝗵𝗺, who is the Zonal Director, Narcotics Control Bureau under the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. Welcome to the program, sir. Let me start by asking you, what is this day about?
Thank you. This International Drug Abuse Day, or we also call it as a World Drug Day, which is celebrated across the world on June 26th. This started from the year 1987, when UN General Assembly passed a resolution to celebrate this. The basic objective of celebrating this day is to give awareness to each and everyone across the world that this is a major problem which we are going to face, which we are already facing, and in days to come it will be much more serious. The objective of this program is basically to make the entire world as drug free. Not only India or not only Telangana or not only any state in India, but the entire world has to be drug free place, because the havoc that drug creates, not only on the young minds or on the health of the students or those who are abused by these drugs, the impact is also on the society in general and on the economy at large. And we can also see the way this drug abuse, drug trafficking, in fact leading to many other problems internationally. For example, the money, the proceeds of the crimes that is earned from this can also be traced back to terrorism and other stuff.
Yes, sir.
So it's indeed challenging task, and it is not just a local phenomena, it's an international phenomena, and all the parties, all the stakeholders, all the countries have to come together to fight. Hence, we have kept this particularly on June 26th to be celebrated across the world to basically give the awareness to public in general.
Absolutely agree with you, sir. Before we get into the havoc that drugs have created in the country and the world at large, I'd like to mention to you, in 2023, the theme of this event was People First, Stop Stigma and Discrimination, Strengthen Prevention. Whereas this year, they have chosen the evidence is clear, invest in prevention. What are your thoughts on that, sir?
Absolutely. The evidence is very clear. Earlier, what we used to think that, yes, this problem is not there in my country, this problem is not there in my city, this problem is not there at, my family. So now it has reached. We are seeing the roots of this issue and the problem coming right to our homes, right to our societies, right to our neighborhoods, schools, colleges. It is no more a problem of West. It's problem of each and every country, and like all other countries, since the technological development is so fast, the reach is also equally fast. And India being a technologically well developed, you can say, the amount of technology, the internet usage, digital equipments, phones, technology is so much well prevalent in our younger generation that the reach is also becoming very fast. Our people are being exposed to a lot of these mischievous things, these illegal things at a younger age. So I think that the current
Yes,
theme of evidence is right in front of him. The evidence is there, and the focus here is not just fighting against the issues, but it is also prevention. As we say, prevention is more better than finding solutions to the problems. So this year's theme is to invest on prevention, and prevention is basically catching our young people and making them aware of what is good, what is bad.
Yes, sir.
That's
we all agree that it's an international problem, sir, and we have international agencies such as the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, which is shortly known as UNDOC, and the INCB, the International Narcotics Control Bureau. So I would like to know how we from India operate along with these organizations to curb the problem of drug abuse and trafficking.
Yeah, I would like to start with my organization. I represent Narcotics Control Bureau, which is an apex agency under Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. So we are a nodal agency as far as these narcotics and psychotropic substances is concerned. So it is not only just the enforcement of the act, which is called the Narcotic and Psychotropic Substances Act, NDPS Act, but it is also about control and regulation of certain chemicals which are being used for manufacturing of licit medicinal and pharmaceutical products, which can also be misused and abused to create narcotic drugs and illegal drugs also. So that mandate is also there with NCB, and along with that we also have a mandate of creation of awareness, generation of awareness to the people. The basic aim of me coming today here is to reach to the larger masses of college students, school students, and all the young people who are vulnerable to this particular issue.
Yes, sir.
So, being NCB as a nodal agency, see, under the NDPS, Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act, powers have been given to central as well as state agencies. But what happens is there has to be a central agency which has to coordinate with all the states and with also with the international agencies.
Yes.
As just you mentioned about the two international agencies, we do be in touch with those two global agencies. Along with that, we will also be in touch with the other agencies. For example, the DEA, it could be Drug Enforcement Agency of United States, or it could be an Australian agency, or it could be a Russian agency. So other than multilateral, we also have a bilateral one-to-one meets.
Yes,
just recently, last 2 weeks back, I was part of a delegation. I was part of BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China. We had a meet where there's a specific anti-drug working group. So I was fortunately be part of that, and we could exchange information with lot of countries. So the problem of drugs is such that it cannot be handled just by one country alone, because the source starts from X country and it goes through many countries in transit and ends up in many countries. So this real-time information has to be there. That's why United Nations as well as UNODC as well as INCB, there are a lot of organizations, even Interpol is there, plus individual countries are also doing their level best to fight this menace.
Yes, sir. From what you're saying, we can see that a lot of work is being put in on the background by the national organizations, international bodies. And as you mentioned the act of NDPS, sir, it says those who are practicing production, manufacturing, cultivation, possession, sale, purchasing, transport, and or consumption of any narcotic drug. Sir, I would like to hear from you how a person, a student in a college life, can get convicted under the NDPS Act.
Yeah, as you rightly mentioned, it is not just manufacturing, production, transportation. You should focus here even mere possession.
Correct.
If some psychotropic substance or narcotic drug is found in your possession, that also amounts to an offense. Okay, and then consumption also is an offense. Now, this is a very strong act. Why we have done this act very strong and stringent? Because we want to give a message to all those who are indulging in this particular activity that we are very serious about this business. And the amount of punishment that is given for possession, for consumption, might start from the amount of quantity that has been seized from you. It could be a small quantity, it could be a medium quantity, or sometimes it could be even a commercial quantity. So, and it depends upon the type of drug that is being found with you, whether it is marijuana, whether it is cocaine, or whether it is LSD or methamphetamine or ATS. There are many hundreds of substances. So the it varies from amount to amount, the quantity to quantity. You can say it starts from 2 years of punishment till 20 years, and this is the only act in which there is a death penalty.
Right, sir.
Mind you, it can go up to the death penalty if you have been convicted in NDPS case once, and if you are again caught in the second and you get convicted, then it is death penalty. So it should the lawmakers of our nation have given it such a stringent what you can say, stringent action to be taken on these that this is unpardonable.
Yes.
There's no there's no excuse as far as these particular crimes are concerned.
Yes. What you're otherwise saying, sir, is drug abuse is serious business, but we have seen a trend where some of the extended groups, like the friends, they pretend as if they have nothing to do with it. if they are sitting in the car where the drug is being used or they are in the vicinity. Can you tell us about the implications of a student who is sitting along with the person who is using it or traveling with the person but is not using it?
Yeah, see, if a person is traveling with a person who is indulging in this kind of activity per se, he may not be part of that particular NDPS unit, but we are all susceptible to these kind of things. When somebody is smoking, then how does it begin? All young minds are susceptible towards things. Initially it happens like I just want to try, I will experiment it, and then he will take 1 or 2 puffs, and then he becomes addicted, and things goes on like this. So it is better if the particular student comes to know that a particular group is doing this, then he has to bring it to the notice of the institution. So
Yes.
the institution, whether it is a college, school, or academy, wherever they are studying, it is always good to bring it, because he is not only spoiling himself, he is allowing his own friends to spoil. The problem with drugs is it is one-way street. Once you go that way, you cannot come back. And in many cases, we have seen death is the ultimate punishment, not from the law enforcement, but also the consumers which give to themselves, because the drugs that have been taken by them over a period of time affects their health status to such a way that death is the ultimate. At a very young age they die. So it is their responsibility also, and the responsibility of society and other stake agencies like the schools, colleges, everyone in the society, to be aware of these things. And whenever such things happen, then red flag has to be immediately issued, so that they are again our own brothers and sisters who are part of this.
Yes, sir. Sir, now that we have started discussing the various aspects of a student and how it's his responsibility to mention to his teachers and the wardens at large in the student community, what further roles and responsibility do you see, sir, of the students and the parents who are now holding a role of protecting this country from such drug abuse?
Yeah, it's a very aptly put question. From our side, that is from narcotics department, from Narcotics Control Bureau, what we are doing is we are trying to reach to maximum numbers of schools, colleges, universities, okay, and we are basically focusing on the middle schools and above, okay, where that is pre-teen, teenagers, and till the postgraduate level schools, colleges, where the trend is seen more. And this is the younger age where people are susceptible to what we say as bad habits. Okay, this is one of such bad habit, but this bad habit is a one-way street, as I mentioned. There's only one way you go, you never come back. So what NCB as an organization has done is we have come up with something called Mission Drug Free Campus. Okay, under the Mission Drug Free Campus, what we are doing, we are writing to all the universities, schools, colleges with certain things, what they have to do. Because see, this is a specialized issue, and just a general communication may not help them what to do. Each school will do it in a different way, each college will do it in a different way. So what we have identified here is, to the schools and colleges, we want them to make a nodal officer from their college or school, whatever, whichever institute it is. Then these nodal officer will be in touch with NCB officers. So we will provide them with study materials, awareness program materials, and everything. And sometimes my officers will also go there. Sometimes time is available, I also will go and give them the effects and the impact of drug abuse.
Yes.
And then we would want them to make anti-drug clubs within their organizations, and they will have seminars and other programs. So this has to be a part of their day in day activity. It is not like we are celebrating this on 26th and we'll do it for 3-4 days and forget next year comes, because end of the day this is the activity which is impacting our youth, okay, which in turn will impact our nation at a large scale.
Yes, sir.
So this Mission Drug Free Campus is, we are trying to connect to all those institutions, and this we have started it from last year, and we have also come up with a program called 𝗍𝗶𝗇.
Namaskar friends, my name is Gagan Narang and I am an Olympic medalist in shooting sport. Today I want to talk to you about a serious issue of drug addiction and how it's becoming a threat to our personal life, society and the nation. Support the Narcotics Control Bureau in their special campaign called Say No to Drugs and Yes to Life. Please join the e-campaign of the Narcotics Control Bureau by taking an e-pledge through the given link or scanning the QR code. Jai Hind.
Where we would want our young students to come up and take a pledge, take an oath that we will never indulge in this kind of bad activity. So that has also been part of this program.
Yes.
So this way we also are trying to reach the parents through the schools, because our reach to parents will be difficult. Through the schools, we also tell them what are the behaviors that has to be watched. For example, if a bright student who was doing otherwise well in his studies, in other walks of life, all of a suddenly shows withdrawal symptoms. He is not mingling, he is trying to be aloof, he remains behind his room all the time, and there is a performance drop.
Yes.
In his education, or it could be in sports or whatever activity. Then these are the small things which the parents should observe.
Yes, sir.
Or these things, then they can talk to their nodal officers, and then how we can pitch in here and how we can identify this issue. So here we are through this institutes, we are trying to be more sympathetic towards those who are being caught in this web. Okay, we don't want to send them to jail. We don't want to treat them as criminals. We know if NDPS Act, if a case is booked under this, then his career is at stake. He may not get subsequent employment in government agencies. His passports may not be issued. He may not be able to go abroad for his higher education. Not only his health, which will be affected by the drug, there's also implications as far as legal issues are concerned. So we are trying to be here giving a sympathetic view against those who are victims. We are treating them as victims. But yes, if the victim is also involved into peddling, where tomorrow he thinks that I am also can make certain quick money out of this by giving it to other people and all, then those cases we don't take it lightly. We will book them under the stringent provisions of the law.
We truly believe that a lot of work is being done in case of prevention, sir, but we'd like to also throw some light on these victims. What does it look like for a person who has gone from his experimentation stage and moved to dependency? What sort of programs is the Government of India and the Narcotics Control Bureau coming up to help these victims?
Yeah, this is to be specifically, there are no specific programs particular to from this stage to this stage, but we do have de-addiction centers, okay, which are run by Government of India, and under the NDPS Act itself, we have a narcotic fund, okay, which has been given to the state departments and various other agencies. Under this fund, we would help them to give training. We would also give them to set up certain de-addiction centers, and all that is there from the central agencies. And as far as these de-addiction centers are concerned, these are either run by the state government or sometimes private agencies are done, or as a social welfare department of the respective states they take care. Once we find that the particular victim, he is a victim of this, we would like to give that to that particular department which takes care well, because they know how to treat it better. So we would not want to put ourselves into that particular area where their expertise of treatment and de-addicting him is done by professional psychologists and doctors and other stuff.
Absolutely, sir. We are hearing tremendous amount of stories now of success stories who turned their life around by taking support of the government and all the resources in terms of de-addiction and counseling and psychiatry that are available today. Do you have any feedback on this, and have you heard of some really potential students that have suffered and they have come about and are doing well in life today, sir?
No, absolutely. I don't have any specific example, because our major mandate is law enforcement. The Ministry of Social Justice takes care of the de-addiction and other stuff, and we are also supporting them in many of the ways, like generating awareness in schools and how this has to be reduced and all. But specifically, I don't have any example. Yes, it is indeed a good thing that in India we do have de-addiction centers, and we do have state-of-art technology. Good number of psychologists, basically clinical psychologists, are available who can actually pinpointedly find out the issue and work it in such a way that there are many therapies which are available, which helps them to from addiction to getting them de-addicted. But per se, I don't have any specific example.
Yes, sir, but the thing is, the victimization is so bad that despite of all these resources, we have to take responsibility for ourselves to not encourage any of drug abuse and go about in a circle where such things are there.
Yes.
And I think, sir, technology is playing a very crucial role here, where there is a lot of penetration of rave parties being shown, the various movies celebrating the use of drugs. What is your opinion on that, sir?
Yeah, see, this with advent of internet and coming up with new technologies every day, social media, of course, is the biggest influencer. We could see a lot of things have changed, but it is always a technology always a two-edged sword. When it gives so much of good things, it will also give you bad things. But it is for the individual to use the best out of it. So whatever technology, whatever machine, if you go back in history, how we have evolved. So technology has always been good if you take it in a good spirit, and bad, equally bad and really bad when it taken in a bad spirit. Now with this internet is basically what? It's an anonymous place. Anonymity is a major factor around which internet revolves. You don't know who is messaging whom, what information is coming from whom, and this is all done through using your tablets, laptops, mobile phones. So in this case, tracking these particular individuals about this narcotic activity is really difficult. And nowadays, they use a lot of these code words to send messages. And as you rightly said, that there are social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, where they just say that some regular party is going on, but in those parties, with those particular words, they can sense that this is not a regular party, but this is a party which is used by those people, those who are part of this drug addiction. So in these cases, it is becoming very difficult to law enforcement, but nonetheless, we have always taken it as a challenge. If we go back and see from 2021, Narcotics Control Bureau has busted 24 major information technology gangs. Okay, we were part of this organized crime syndicate, which was part of narcotic trading. So there were many cartels which we have broken. So in spite of all these things, it is not like impossible for us to reach. Though it is difficult, it is not impossible. So under the leadership of our DGP 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 𝗚𝗏, it has been a great journey in last 2 to 3 years. So our technological upgradation has happened, and we do a lot of good cases when it comes to dark web, cryptocurrency related issues, and internet pharmacies. So as I said, we have been successful in breaking 24 big cartels in India.
That's excellent news, sir, that there's so much happening in the trafficking part as well. Sir, I think here it's safe to say that we are all supposed to take responsibility as a community, and considering the students are the future of the country,
yes,
we'd like to ask you, what advice would you give to the students to protect the community as warriors against drug abuse and trafficking, sir?
Yeah, see, you should see, it is not all the students who are susceptible to this. Of course, 100% everyone is susceptible to all the wrong things, but if you see only a certain percent, which is again a small number in each school and college, who get addicted to these kind of bad behaviors, or you can say bad company. Students should always involve themselves into certain extracurricular activities. When we go to schools and colleges, we give certain presentations, okay, in which I particularly tell them this thing. When you do certain good activity, for example, if you are a basketball player, when you play basketball, you feel good. Then if somebody is a painter, he or she paints, they feel good. Somebody is a singer, does something, any hobby, any activity, any sport you do, there is something which is happening in your body. Okay, what we can say in your mind, basically there is some feel good factor. What exactly is that feel good factor? There are certain chemicals which are released. They say endorphin is one which is released when you do some good activity. So now you have to differentiate between this release of this good factor from doing good activity. The same effect drug also gives. Now what happens over a period of time, those people who wanting to have that good effect by doing good activities, whether it could be playing cricket, football, or just having a chat with friend, or talking to mother, or it could be any activity, positive activity will also give a good factor. But there are people who are withdrawing from society, who want to go back behind, they want to sit. They are the one who are trying to experiment certain things. That this also gives me a good effect. But this good effect, whatever the drug is giving you, will have an impact on your overall health. It could be your digestive system, it could be the circulatory system, your heart, and slowly other than affecting your health, it will also affect the family at large, society at large. Then you can extrapolate it to the entire nation at large and world at large. So what I would like to give suggestion to our students is, try to be always in good company and try to keep yourself busy. When you have more amount of time, but that time has to be equally divided for your studies, for your extracurricular activities, sports, meeting out with friends, go out for movie, do certain activities, plan it accordingly. If you have a lot of free time and you just sit alone and surf things over internet, don't go out, meet and mingle people, then these are the things which will start bothering you. You start feeling depressed, where I am, what am I doing, all these things. Then somebody suggests you, or somewhere some information comes that no, take this thing, then you start feeling good. To feel good, why you have to take all these things is basically to feel good. Or when there are so much of good activities which can give you so much of feel good factors, then why to indulge in negative activity?
So sir, we would like to know, what are the current trends that you are seeing in college students, and how has it changed after the COVID?
Yeah, a lot of you can say due to COVID, many things change across the world. Okay, the way business was done, the way schooling was done, everything abruptly ended. But one bad thing about this narcotic trade, it flourished. Everywhere all the businesses came down, but this is the one thing that we observed was it flourished. The organized gangs which were dealing into these what we call as cartels and all, they started to come up with this method that people will order it online, pay it through online, through dark web, and the payment is done through cryptocurrencies. It's all anonymous, and from there through various means, through concealed means, drugs is sent to your house, right next to your home. Like you will order a particular drug and he will send it in a particular book. It is placed in such a way that, and we are talking about 5 gram, 10 gram, it is not in a huge quantity, but these small quantities, directly they are dealing with customers. These customers are the drug addicts who are spread across the India. And if we see during COVID, none of us were allowed to go out. Okay, only law enforcement agencies and doctors and only those warriors who were part of COVID rescue teams. Other than them, everyone was behind their houses. So this also created some kind of uneasiness or unhappiness in people's mind. Probably some of the new people also started testing certain drugs. So this online mechanism, today also it is surviving. For us it has become a difficult ball game because of this. This is not easily done. So otherwise how it happens, we know this is the area, this is a guy who does, we keep a watch, and when he is smuggling that particular thing, we go catch him, and how the contraband is seized. But now rather than from bulk, it has become small quantity. And it is we don't know, it is happening, might be from USA, it might happen from Amsterdam, or it might happen from Hyderabad to that way. The world has become a flat. So this is biggest problem for us. Couriers, parcels, and a lot of these synthetic drugs like LSD, small quantity of amphetamine, meth, all these things are coming to India through various couriers, and India is a huge country, and every day, millions of couriers, millions of things come to India, and millions export go out. So it is becoming difficult. If the quantity is big, we might have a particular source, some information we might get, see this is coming and all, when we will track and it. But these cases, it has become really difficult.
Sir, can you give us an example of how you have used international cooperation and state level cooperation to nab a particular case which you might have dealt with?
Yeah, this I would, recently Hyderabad unit itself has done a wonderful case. I would not give you the specifics of the case, but I will just tell you the gist of the case, because the case is still under trial and I cannot tell all those things. See, one particular person somewhere in the United States dies of drug overdose. Overdose. And then the local, when the police go there and do the investigation, it is found that this particular overdose of drug has come from Hyderabad. Okay, and they in turn contact their national agency, that is their DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency. Through them they contact NCB, and it was given to us here in Hyderabad, and we tried with that particular information, we nabbed a person, and after interrogation we also seized a huge amount of money from him, really huge amount of money, and we came to know that he was running an internet pharmacy, online pharmacy. Okay, guy sitting there on internet will order certain drugs, okay, which have been prohibited, which has been banned by Government of India, which have been banned by United States government, and these are certain medicines which are given only to certain kind of patients, okay, which is completely controlled. So he was sourcing these things from various places in India, and he was selling it. Then after interrogation, we came to know, we arrested a couple of people in that and did our investigation. We found that this particular agency has the actual website or domain registered there in a country called New Zealand. And we connected to our counterparts in New Zealand, again through diplomatic channels that we have, and they did a wonderful investigation, and they also arrested a couple of people there, and immediately they came to know that all these funds and information and the mastermind sitting is there in New York. Again it went back to US. So again they did their investigation, they arrested, still the cases are going on. So what I would like to say is our coordination is so strong that all the countries, as far as drugs is concerned, are very alert. If the same case comes to for any other financial crimes or any other crimes, maybe the other country may not be of that help, or they may not actively pursue it. But this is a national problem. This is an international problem. This is not just a national problem, it's an international problem, and all are equally responsible and all are equally cooperative. So this should tell you that how swiftly we could, do an investigation across 4 countries and neutralize the entire gang which was involved in it.
Very interesting, sir. So the message you are giving is that however genius you are, you will get caught.
Absolutely. If you think that you are doing something in India and you go back to Australia or some nondescript country somewhere in the world and you use aliases names or you use technology, but we are there. We are there to catch.
So, but there is also an opinion that the NDPS Act is a draconian act. What do you have to say about that, sir?
See, this is this particular word that you used is being used by the defense or those who are against this particular law. This we can say is a very stringent act. Why we say this as a stringent act is the problem is also very stringent. It is not like any other regular problem. The problem is such severe that those who get caught into this web will not come out. So that is the reason why, see, in regular cases what happens is the presumption of guilt. In regular cases, suppose you did some particular activity, you hit someone, or you were caught with some IPC, Indian Penal Code offences, some issue happened with you, or some you involved in some crime. There the presumption of guilt is not there. That they what they say is you are not guilty until it is proved. That is the thing. But here in NDPS we have 2 stringent sections, section 35 and section 54. 35 is presumption of mental state. Okay, this particular the sections may not be of relevance to the students and you people, but I am just telling you these sections. See, here we presume that you were in fit of mind. So there is something called mensuria. Mensuria is criminal mind. Okay, we presume that you have done this with your fitness of mind. So you were in the right frame of mind. And second thing is, when we seize certain things from you, when certain things are seized, that possession is presumed. Okay, that it means that now it is your responsibility that it was not found with me. In other cases, it is the police who have to prove, it is the other agencies who have to prove that no, we caught this particular thing from this XYZ person. No, but under NDPS, it is you as a victim have to prove to the court that no, this was not found with me. So the presumption of guilt is there, and when the quantity of drug is more, you will not get bail. And one more thing, for example, if you would have seen, even if he is a murderer, or even if he is indulged in multiple crimes for 5 years, 10 years, he has been behind bars, and if his behavior is good, okay, the government gives him remission. He says, no, after rather than 10 years, we'll reduce his sentence to 7 years, 3 years prior only he can be released. None of these is possible here. No leniency. If you are caught under NDPS, then government and all the agencies will look at you in a stringent and most strictest manner. So there is no this thought of remission or giving you some kind of leeway. No, because you are doing dealing with such thing which is so bad to the society and so detrimental to the country that we will not tolerate this. And this being an international phenomena, this is the act is so stringent not only in India and across the world. And see, if we go back and see the NDPS, this act, and the very existence of Narcotics Control Bureau, this comes from Constitution. Okay, under directive principles of state, which Constitution says that state shall endure to stop this menace, drug menace. And not only from Constitution, we have also signed certain statutes. Okay, with United General Assembly, even certain conventions, 1971, 1961, Vienna Convention. There are many conventions which we have signed with various other countries, which makes it mandatory. That's why this act has to be strong. So that's why it's a stringent act, but I cannot use it as a draconian act. Yes. Indeed, it has been done with a specific purpose. The purpose is being sorted.
I think a lot of inspiration these days is coming from these OTT platforms, sir, which have flourished especially after the COVID. Everyone's watching shows like Narcos, some more like Breaking Bad, which show about the entire drugs in a very open way. What do you see? How is that impacting our youth today, sir?
Yeah, see, now with evolution of technology, as I said, and of course during COVID and all, when people had a lot of time, they were not going outside, and OTT become, and it flourished in a much bigger way. And I know, even I have watched Narcos, I have seen Breaking Bad. This is, see, we cannot stop this technological evolution. Okay, earlier we used to go to theaters for movies, then this trend has recently coming down, and people are watching these programs, and it's always, you go back and see in history, crime and criminal network, this sells. You see in a movie, okay, hero is a good guy and villain is a bad guy, and he is running some gang and all that stuff. The similar thing is there. Now this Narcos is based on one particular person who was a cocaine king in Latin America, basically Colombia. And Breaking Bad is about a chemistry professor, which is again hypothetical, it's not a true story. They have shown, this is basically, they want to sell this and they want to make money and they want to indulge people to look at it. But if you see, there also it's been shown that end is always bad. The government of India says truth alone trumps. At the end, 𝗧𝗦 की जीत होती है, and it is always the truth that trumps. Here, if you see whether it is Breaking Bad or if you see Narcos, the end has been very, very bad. If you see that you can lead a lavish lifestyle, and if you can think that no, I can get away with it. If you see in Narcos, he tries to be the president of Colombia, but with all that might and power, the truth always prevails, and he was brought down, and see how it ended. Unfortunately, 90% of the people look at this as an entertainment, 99% you can say. But some bad element will again draw inspiration from a negative perspective and try to do, if I do this thing, what will happen? So similar one case has happened in India. It has of course not happened in my jurisdiction, somewhere in India. I don't want to name which place. So the people were inspired by this Breaking Bad, and they started a small makeshift lab, okay, out of a caravan van, okay, which you would have, if you know Breaking Bad, you would have seen that. And a similar thing was started here somewhere in India only, and we caught that gang, and they are all behind bars. So if you think that we can do all these things and get out, no. Unfortunately, they were very young boys who we have caught, and at least 15 to 20 years they'll go behind bars, and that's a very bad end. So
Yes, sir.
all these things you should take it in entertainment perspective and with motive as entertainment. And if you would want to imitate this, rather imitate doing something good stuff rather doing bad stuff.
Yes, sir. Like you rightly said, technology is a double-edged sword, sir, and these are the negative implications.
Yes.
But we'd also like to know how NCB is using technology and how NCORD was introduced to aid this.
Yeah, this is a very good thing. See, NCB is using all known tools and platforms. Now, under the leadership of our Honorable DG Sir, National Coordination Meeting, NCORD, has been recently started, where the Prime Minister of India himself will be sitting on the chair, and all the state chief ministers and all senior officers are part of that. So, this gives how serious the nation is about these things. The Ministry of Home Affairs, Honorable Home Minister is very serious about this. Then we have state level meetings at state court and court state. At state level meeting, it is chaired by Chief Minister and Chief Secretary. Even we have at district level meetings. See, we are not leaving any stone unturned. We are fighting a war with all our might. It starts right from district level, even below that, maybe taluk level or village level, till the national level. Everyone, all the facets of government are involved into it. It is not just a law enforcement, police department or excise department or customs or NCB is part of fight against drug. No, it is everyone. Like the principal secretary of education department is part of the that meeting. So here we would want all the organizations, all the department and all the arms of the state to come together to fight against it. And with economic progress, India is growing really good, and with the technological progress and financial progress, the amount of this activity, the drug abuse is going to increase in days to come. So we have to fight through all the available resources.
Like you said, sir, anonymity is a key feature in technology, and with certain students in a university, we've observed that they're afraid to go complain to their management, and also the university administration is afraid to take action. How is the NCB being available to a student who has observed the usage of a drug, and how can he report it to you, sir?
Yes, it's a very good question. Of course, many a times it happens that they do not want to directly come and give a complaint, or do not want to share any information, but still they feel that no, it is my duty to share the information and solve this issue. In those cases, what we can do, we have a portal called Manas portal. Okay, we have our website where you can drop in anonymously your messages, information, and we are also there on various social media platforms. Like I have 𝗵𝗵 Hyderabad is there as @ncb Hyderabad on Instagram. We are also there in Facebook. We are also there in various social media platforms. You can reach through that, and my email is also available. If you Google out, you will get the email ID and information. And at the end of the program, I have requested the organizers also to share our email ID and phone numbers. You can reach us through all these ways and means. So if you feel that no, your information has to be kept anonymous, we will definitely keep it. We will not give them. We are basically against the fight against the drugs, not against a particular individual or against a society or against one particular institute. So this information is always.
That's a great encouragement, sir. What do you think the role of the television media, journalists and the technology influencers who are now have become the voice of the people to help this cause?
Oh, I think they have a greater role to play, because mass media, social media, this will have an immediate impact on students, people, everyone. We all are, sometimes become victims of that, or sometimes we can also be benefited out of it. So, glorification of criminals, glorification of people who do drug abuse. Okay, glorification and showing that it is cool to hold a cigarette or to have 1 or 2 puffs of ganja in their programs, in their movies, in their documentaries. This should be taken very, very seriously, because subtly you are influencing a young mind. A teenage guy or a pre-teenage guy might think that doing these drugs or smoking, all these things is cool. What we use, it's something which is taken as cool, and you have to be doing all those stuff. Subtly it influence. If you look at psychology, okay, what you study or what you read will make less impact than what you observe. Okay, kids, they study, they rather than you overtly teaching them to do this, they will study and they will learn a behavior of what you do. So we as a mass media or social media and all those people who are part of this particular thing, media industry, should be very, very conscious when they are doing these kind of movies. Of course, that might earn them few quick bucks more than the regular thing, but at the end it impacts the society in a big way. So I would request all those people who are part of the group not to glorify these things and show the truth as it is. And as I said in the previous answers and previous conversation, truth alone trumps. No bad activity will win. Okay, and it is the loser, the guy who is taking it is the biggest loser.
Thank you, sir. We hope to hold that responsibility. What advice would you give, sir, to the students and to the community at large to help this cause?
Yeah, to the students, I would request them basically to design their days. Okay, design their day per se, like every time of yours, 24 hours, how you are going to spend your time. You have to keep yourself busy most of the times. Busy per se, it doesn't mean that you have to only study or always be included in academics. No, you have to go out, meet friends. Okay, you have to indulge in sports activities. You have to indulge yourself in cultural activities, some kind of hobbies. Now, why you have to do all these things is this will give you that pleasure. It will give you that happiness. Okay, and once you are happy in all these things, your mind will not go towards finding other things. When you are sitting alone, when you are not mingling with people, when you feel that word is not for me and I can go back and sit relax alone, this is when this depression, this bad activity starts thinking. So you will not be feeling good about yourself. Then you start experimenting with these drugs and other things. So when there is a good way available to you, okay, where you can feel good about yourself by way of indulging in various activities, where it could be simple thing of just taking a stroll, or going on cycle, going on walk, talking to your friends. Please have more number of friends, come out. Now with the proliferation of this technology, people are continuously watching either Instagram, or they are chatting someone with who is not there in that place, some part of the other earth. But we have completely forgot that attachment and emotional bonding which we have with friends, family, neighbors and all that. So I would suggest our present community to student community to basically divide their day, plan it, so that they are not left with no activity kind of time. When there is no activity kind of time and you don't know what to do, this is when these bad things start creeping into your mind. So keep as much as busy as possible, and this will also help you to have good health, whether physiological health or psychological health, and this is always good for you.
Thank you so much, SACHIN sir, for your valuable insights on this very broad topic. With that, we have come to the end of the program. Thank you, viewers, for watching 𝗳Cat channel.